Hello YouTube, this is Daniel here from Nostalgia Overload, back here with another video. In this video I just want to go over my thoughts on the Lord of the Rings The Third Age RPG. So this was an RPG released back in the early 2000s on the Xbox and the PlayStation 2. I didn't play it back in those days. I was busy playing other games such as Fable and the Knights of the Old Republic, so I didn't actually get around to this. Those games took up most of my time. But now I've been rediscovering that console and purchasing more games for it. I managed to pick this game up in a bundle and I thought I'd give it a try. It had some initial good reviews. My overall opinion on this game is a bit mixed. I enjoyed the first opening half an hour. If you're a fan of the movie, it is a great game. There's a whole entire new story with loads of cutscenes. The characters look really well done, and the world is also portrayed really well. The enemies look great. The characters look great. So the maps and stuff are designed really well. I just found there was a bit of a lack of depth. Firstly, there's no shops to go into, there's no sort of cities, nothing like that. You're essentially just roaming through the level, constantly attacking enemies and hauling through crates and stuff like that. There's no sort of variation in the tasks. It's literally just going through and attacking enemies, and the enemies can occur quite frequently, so you'll just be running throughout a level, and every 5 minutes or so you'll flash it with another battle, and the battles can become very repetitive, as it's the same enemies all the time, so you're using the same attacks. That sort of really sort of ruined the experience. I still pushed through for another 2 to 3 hours in the game, but again, the sort of repetitiveness and the combat just bored me. It just bored me in the end. I couldn't really look past that, unfortunately. I know this was, back in the early 2000s. If you look at the other games out at that time, maybe they done quite well, but I think there could have been a few things added, such as the towns, more character development. Maybe some side missions, maybe a bit more of an open world. I understand there are technology limitations here, but maybe a bit more of open world would have added a lot more to the game. Even little things such as adding your characters like in your party in the background, so you have 3 characters or 4 characters in your party, but you don't see them as you're roaming around. You can't have conversations with them. They're only there for battles, unfortunately. They do interact with cutscenes, but again, that's just not really enough character depth that I was really after. So if they could have added that in there, that would have been great, to have the characters actually roam around with you, have some conversations, and maybe some NPCs as well. There are very few NPCs that I remember from this game. It's only enemies, really. There's no NPCs walking around. Can't have conversations with anyone. So that would have been a great thing to add. When it comes to the combat in this game, it is turn-based, and I don't mind that. I've played Final Fantasy before, and also other turn-based combat RPGs such as Knights of the Old Republic, and the turn-based combat I don't have any problems with, and that overall the combat is very good. The animations are very good. The wide range of attacks, the abilities of the different characters, and also the leveling up the characters and choosing all the different feats and how you're going to improve your character. Those are all good aspects of the game. So in terms of changing the characters, however, there's not really much that can be done. There are added you can get more equipment, but it's there's not really that many options. There's no sort of detailing on the characters, and there's very little configuration you can make on the characters themselves apart from upgrading their gear. There's also no crafting mechanics or anything like that in the game. You can't craft any sort of potions or anything like that. So overall, I think, as I said, it's a mixed bag when it comes to this game. The combat is very good. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you're going to enjoy this game. The story is quite good, but again, the repetitiveness of the combat really can hamper the experience of just trying to get to a level, especially with the camera and navigating through the levels back in the old days of the Xbox and the PS2 can already be quite annoying, and having to operate the camera and try and figure out where you need to go, and then every 5 minutes or so getting into the same repetitive battle of a few orcs, it just really affects the experience of the overall game. So if you see this game in the future and think it's something you might want to try, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, I definitely would recommend it. But don't expect too much. Again, this game was made in the early 2000s, and it's lacking a lot of depth when it comes to RPGs. So that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. Please like the video and please subscribe.